Hello everybody and welcome to the Full Potential Show. I'm James Rick. This is your #1 non-boring source for personal development. Today we have a very special guest. We have Merrie Lynn Ross on the line. I'm recording here in beautiful San Diego, California. Merrie, where are you?
I'm in beautiful Los Angeles in Beverly Hills, up in the hills.
Is it sunny there? Because it's really cloudy here.
It's overcast, like a little blanket of foggy clouds.
Now, Merrie, tell me a little bit about your background. You have a very interesting background, my dear.
Well, we could start when I was 2 years old, but I think I'll fast forward it. My background, basically, I started out in the film business as an actress, a model. I was very lucky. Like the first interview I went on in LA, I had been a New York actress. I came out here and I got it. You know why I got it?
Why did you get it, Merrie?
Because I thought I was the only one going out for it. I didn't view that there was a lot of competition. Yeah.
So, and let's talk about what you did get. Talk about some of the roles that you got.
Well, one of my first roles was on Happy Days, and I played a character named Bubbles LaRue. I worked with Robin Williams and some of the great comedians in the world.
How cool. And what is your best known role?
Probably, I would say that it's Emma Lutz on General Hospital.
So I think it's important to have you on the show because you did something that, so many people were trying to do, and you already hit on it with one of the key points. You just didn't know what you were up against. You didn't have time to think about the competition necessarily. You were focused on the performance and the target of who you were actually trying to engage you to do this role. Or some of the roles previous to this. So tell me, aside from the ignorance in a way of what the market was and the competition, what do you think were some of the other factors that really contributed to your success?
I was trained. I knew my craft. I put in lots of time to become good, where I could handle the opportunity when it hit. That's number one. You may have dreams, but you have to go out and prepare yourself so that you are competitive, but you're not thinking of it. And one of the amazing things, Mark Lester is a great director. I worked with him in a film that I executive produced called Class of 1984. And one day I was up against major stars for a role. And this was years later, and I said, oh, and he said, wait a minute. You think you're up against all those people? He said, you don't have it right. He said, there's them and there's you. It's a 1-to-1. Now that takes you out of a long shot into a favorite.
Let's talk about some of the key lessons and stories you'd like to share about the book. Okay,
well, this book was written after I lost my son. And it was actually written before, but completed. And I lost him over 2 years ago. And his last wish for me was, Mom, finish your book. It'll help a lot of people.
He'd been hearing about it for 20 years, probably.
And he's in it. You don't raise a kid and not put him in your book.
Right.
This is not an autobiography. This is how to morph havoc and hassles into harmony and happiness. The question is, you want to succeed, you have dreams, but who is it that's doing it? And why are you doing it? What is your purpose? What's driving you? What's the driving force?
Getting with the core engine, because you are the engine driving it, but who are you as that engine, and what ultimately is the fuel, the purpose or the passion?
And you discover yourself. So this is a process book from some very, very practical tools. It's like a workbook. You go through it to some very profound tools. And that being, if you have obstacles in your way and you keep having the same result from all your actions, there's things you have to look at. So we help you do that in this book. We help you delete some of these your hang-ups, your fears, and that's a piece of it. Once you do that, then you can start moving into another point of action.
Merrie Lynn Ross, merrieway.com. Can you get the book at merrieway.com, or is it on Amazon?
Yes,
and the website?
You can also go to bounceoffthewalls.com.
Bounceoffthewalls.com.
Okay. anywhere you see me, you'll see this book.
You'll be carrying stacks of them, right?
I'm carrying stacks, and I feel that it has a lot of love engendered in it, and that's my offering.
I'll tell you what, Merrie, that's not hard to believe. I think you just ooze love, humor, and I can see you have lived your life like an improv. Thank you so much for being on the Full Potential Show.
Thank you.
That's merrieway.com or bounceoffthewalls.com. And that concludes this episode of the Full Potential Show. Thank you again, Merrie.
Thank you.
Well, that concludes this week's episode of the Full Potential Show, your #1 non-boring source for personal development. I'm James Rick, and if you want to get more positive programming for your brain absolutely free on a weekly basis, just visit fullpotential.com.